So they say you're on a list if you're a whistleblower. And it's like, well, I used to work for a company in Round Rock that's a gift shop, and there was a while when they were doing things funny with the pay. Like after I left, they weren't paying people for 2 weeks. They would pay their managers, but not their employees. The people would have to wait for their checks, and if they had to pay rent, they would have to put in a loan request to get an advance on a check they should have already had. And that company also fined us for cigarettes, color changing glass, and other stuff. They fined people out of their check for missing inventory constantly. I'm pretty sure that wasn't legal. And then they also would loan out money to people, um, and then charge them a fee to take it back on the check. And they would kind of do like a pay advance, but through loan requests. And I remember I turned them in to the federal government because they had not given me my last check. It was taking a while. They never gave it, never gave it. Um, and then magically I get the check, but after I turned them in, yet the government shut down for a month, and then that case was dropped during that time. And then I worked at Target, and whenever I came out and had HIV, they had already been retaliating against me hardcore because they didn't like that I didn't want to write my people up. So I think Target had multiple things against me because that HR lady had 235% turnover. And I watched her. They would send people to the store, they would promise you're going to $3 more an hour, but then they would have you do two people's job. Everyone in the store was doing 2 to 3 people's jobs. I was running front lanes, team lead over front lanes, and team lead over a cafe. They had me work 1 day a week in cafe to lead the team, and I worked by myself in that cafe. And I had to give all the instructions through the day part person to the night part person that I never even saw because I left before they got there. And I was supposed to be managing the cafe. So Target had its own issues, and when I turned them into the equal employment opportunity because they started retaliating against me after I told them I had HIV, I was stressed, and they didn't treat me right. And then I wrote them a letter to their HR. I wrote them a letter about all of the food safety issues in that store because they were not following procedure. They hadn't even signed their little grocery like health code checklist for a year when I got there. And whenever I told all the executive team leads, they didn't care. And then they were mad I was asking them to sign something daily they should have been doing all along. And they got mad and retaliated against me. And I wonder if I'm on a list for just being honest and speaking up about business. Like, Target should have been grateful I told them that store had food safety issues and that HR manager had 235% over turnover and was constantly firing people and was mean to the employees and harassing people. But maybe that was the lady who got rid of the people. And maybe because I had a positive attitude and I supported my partners in my team, the managers didn't like that I didn't want to write people up. And I talked back to them about why are we just writing people up? Because the example was he wanted me to write up 3 people if we had no red cards that night. And if you know Bee Caves, Texas, people are more interested in their Sky Miles than a stupid red card discount at Target. So they're not interested in it. So they would never get it. And we had less guests. Our basket size was like $340 average there, but way less customers. So those people didn't need the Target discount. They live in bee caves where they live in $250,000, $2 million, $3 million homes. Like, Target is ludicrous, and they wanted me to write up my team members because the guests told them no, they don't want a red card. And I refused to do it, and I explained my reasoning. Management didn't like it, and then they retaliated harder. And no one deserves to be mistreated for speaking the truth. And anyone who's a leader, especially of a big store, like that store manager was a wussy. He wouldn't even take honest feedback. And if you're a leader, you have to take honest feedback. It's a give and take. We're all people. Remember, corporate, people up in corporate, you don't know what your store managers and your managers are doing to people on the bottom lines if you don't see it. So make sure none of your employees, meaning people that work for you, are getting mistreated, okay? Because you don't have a right to pressure to mistreat down. Leaders don't have a right to mistreat anyone for any reason. Just remember that. Have a good day.